Chapter 30. An awkward silence reigns in the VFW hall during the ejection of the impatient music lover. A few seconds after the troublemaker has been unceremoniously expelled from the premises, though, Cat starts off the honey barrel bun-hating polka with a resounding assault on the drums, and the incident is immediately forgotten. Warble is euphoric. Tomorrow, the entire world will know about the cascading updates on their new hit song. Thinking back on his opening remarks prior to the song, he can't quite recall if he emphasized strongly enough that he was the composer of the piece. The cascading updates is his band. They would be nothing without him. Warble sees that the crew from WYFF has their camera trained on Early Bird. He deftly steps between the camera and the lead guitarist. The camera shifts to Plaster. Warble slides over in that direction so as to remain the center of attention. Once again, the camera's angle changes, this time to Plumpo's position. Warble duck walks across the stage directly in front of Plumpo, smiling to beat the band all the while. Early Bird sees what Warble is up to, and as the camera's subject changes once more, this time to Cat Atomic and his relentless drumming, Early Bird trips Warble as he duck walks by. Gamer that he is, Warble keeps a firm grip on his accordion and continues squeezing it all the while. Now the camera is trained on him and he beams. Getting up, he momentarily glares at Early Bird while wagging his right index finger at him, shielding the gesture from the camera by turning sideways. Turning back to the camera, Warble is irritated to see that it has again strayed off course. Now it is focused on Kamikaze, who is bouncing up and down as he thumps away at his bass guitar. Just as Warble is about to body slam Kama out of the way, he notices an intimidating-looking fellow in the crowd, staring at him and pounding his right fist into his left fist over and over again. The big, mean-looking man's face is expressionless. The 250 pounds, if he is 90, bundle of brawn is coldly staring at Warble, inexorably pounding his fist. Warble fears the worst. It's the music mafia, he theorizes. They know that this song is so good that nobody will ever buy any other record from any other artist ever again. This is the only song anybody, anywhere, anytime, would ever even dream of listening to, dancing to, singing along with, etc. They put out a contract on me. Now I know what they mean when they say, it's lonely at the top. This hired thug has his sights on me and me alone, which is only logical when you think about it because these other guys are just a bunch of dim-witted galoots in comparison to me. It's true, Early Bird is a fairly tolerable get-fiddle picker, but he doesn't have the genius to write a song like mine. He's safe. Mediocrity has assured him safe passage, while I, poor, pitiful, misunderstood Warble Poundcake McGorkle Esquire, have to suffer the consequences of my monumental and well-nigh immeasurable genius. Wallowing in grief and self-pity, Warble loses his place in the song. He is supposed to be singing, but that's the furthest thing from his mind at the moment. When Early Bird nudges him, he catches up to the music by singing the words he left out as fast as he can, auctioneer style. At the end of the world premiere of their signature tune, Warble explains to the audience that the band needs to take 5. He looks into the camera and says, "Don't touch that remote, folks. We'll be right back after a word or two from our sponsors." Warble quickly assembles the updates. Plumpo has slipped away over to the counter where the storied Mr. Pibb incident unfolded, seeing if there are any remaining drops of the delectable fluid that he can scavenge. Warble dismisses Plumpo's temporary absence with a wave of the hand, and trying to be as casual as possible, gestures to Mary to come over and join the conference. "Look, fellas, there's no time to explain, but I have to quit this town, this state, this band, even this industry, pronto." He turns to his old shipmate, Early Bird Fortitude, and addresses him in a formal tone. "Mr. Fortitude, I'm putting you in command of this passel of landlubbers. You can take it from here, on the strength of my song and our historic debut, of which you all have just been witnesses, in which you have all participated. I am turning over to you all," he continues, scanning the other band members with his eyes, "the name of my band and the right to use my composition. All I ask in return is a measly, cheap at twice the price, 6/11th share in the band's monetary fortunes. I will forward to you an address to which you can send my share of the loot, hard-earned profit. That's mighty generous of you, Warble, Earlybird intones. Tell me, though, how did you come up with 6/11ths as being your fair share of the band's income? It's plain mathematics, my good friend, and now successor as leader and frontman of the Cascading Updates. Each of us gets one share for being a member of the band, playing an instrument, posing for album covers after eating something tart, etc. I get additional shares for the following. 1. Coming up with the band's name. 2. Writing our mega-hit single. 3. Assembling the band. 4. Because Mary was the manager, and she is my wife, as you all know. And 5. Just because. Satisfied? In unison, all of the band members open their mouths to question or object to the arrangements. We'll never know which, because Warble heads them off at the pass by grabbing Mary's wrist and pulling her out the side door, using his former bandmates as a shield so that the supposed mafia hitman, who is, in actuality, the mentally deficient and utterly harmless son of a former mayor of St. Augustine, won't see them depart. Just before he closes the door behind him, having pushed Mary out the door ahead of him, Warble addresses his old bandmates one final time. A word of advice, freely given, no charge. Get some backup singers and dancers, perhaps some of the grandchildren of the original Mouseketeers, and call them the Deletes, to make a clear demarcation between the band when I was a member, its glory days, and afterwards, its inevitable decline. Verily, your new name will be the Cascading Updates and Deletes. This is the last St. Augustine is likely to see of Warble and Mary McGorkle. They ride off at a right angle to the sunset in their PTC. They head north for an old port of call of Warble's, Brooklyn, New York.